lands that our university is situated on. I'd like to respectfully acknowledge that the SFSS is located on the traditional unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including the Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, Coquitlam, and Katzie nations. Unceded means that these territories have never been handed over, sold, or given up by these nations, and we are currently situated on occupied territories. We're now going to move on to roll call. When I call on you, please state your name, your pronouns, and your access needs. Access needs being anything we can do to make this meeting more comfortable for you. And starting with environment, is the environment representative here? I think I saw her in here. Is Manroop Gill here?
Yes, sorry, I was on mute.
All right, great. Can you just state your name and your pronouns?
Sure, my name is Manroop Gill and my preferred pronouns are she or hers.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so behavioral neuroscience.
Oh, sorry, so I'm actually behavioral neuroscience. It's basically, there's a misprint there.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll make note of that.
Thank you.
All right, so do we have anyone from environment? No, nobody from environment. Biology?
Yeah, hi, my name's Nick. My pronouns are he, him, and all my accessibility needs have been met.
Perfect. Chemistry? Is the chemistry representative here? No. Cognitive science?
Yep, Roland Poe from Cognitive Science. He, him, his needs are currently being met.
All right. Computer science?
Hey, Ryan Van Sickle, computer science, he, him, his, all my needs are met.
Criminology? Is the crim rep present? No. Economics? Is the economics representative present? Education?
Yep. Oh, unmuted. There we go. Adrian, she, her, and all my needs are met.
Great. Engineering?
Yeah, name is Alvin. My pronouns are he, him, and all my needs are met.
All right. English?
Hi, my name is Liz. My pronouns are she, her, and all my needs are met.
All right. Chemistry rep, it's noted. I see you're present. Environmental science?
Hi, my name is Caitlin Hyde. My pronouns are she and her. All of my access needs are met. Thank you.
Perfect. French? Okay. Gender, sexuality, and women's studies?
Alicia, pronouns are she, her, hers, and all my needs are met.
Great. Geography? Is there a representative from geography here?
Evangeline, she, her, and all my needs are met.
Thank you. Global Asia Studies? Is there a representative from Global Asia Studies today? No. History?
Alan, he, him. My access needs have been met.
Thank you. Humanities?
Hi, my name's Sarah. Pronouns are she, her, hers, and all my needs are met.
Thank you. Interactive arts and technology?
Yes, Brian, he, him, his access needs are met.
Thank you. International studies.
Aaliyah, she, hers, and all my access needs are being met.
All right. Labor studies. Linguistics. Is the representative from linguistics present? Oh no, I received regrets from her. Math. The math rep here. No. Mechatronics.
Hi, my name is Kimia, pronouns she, her, and my access needs have been met.
Thank you. MBB.
Hi, my name is Kyle, he, him, and my access needs are met.
Thank you. Operations research. It's the operations research rep here. Philosophy.
Hi, my name is Tony, he, him, his, and all my access needs are met.
Thank you. Physics.
Hey, my name is Manuel, he, him, and all my access needs are met.
All right, thank you. Political science.
Hi everyone, this is Helen from the PSSU. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and all my access needs are met.
Thank you, Helen. Psychology. Is the rep from psychology present? No. Science, that's me. I received regrets from Society of Arts, Social Sciences, sociology and anthropology. Sorry, we can't hear you. Sorry, Kayla. I couldn't hear you.
Kayla, all my SFSS are met and pronouns she, her, hers. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Software systems.
Hi, my name is Quince. Male pronouns and all my access needs are met.
All right, statistics and actuarial sciences. Okay. Then world literature, I received regrets. DNA. The representative from the Disability and Neurodiversity Alliance. Okay. Out on campus.
Hi everyone, I'm Victor. My pronouns are he, him, his, and my access needs are met. Thank you.
Thank you. Kayla, that's noted. Resident Hall Association, RHA. So representative from the RHA here? No. Student Athletic Advisory Committee.
Hey there, my name's Ryan. Pronouns are he, him, his, and all my access needs are met.
Thank you, Ryan. Women's Center Collective. WCC rep present. No. SOCA.
Hi, my name is Fego. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and my access needs are currently met. Thanks.
Thank you. Do we have anyone from the Board of Directors here today? Rather than going through the list, I'd just like to ask, is anyone present? If you are, you can introduce yourself. Wei-chan, I see you there.
I was waiting for someone else to go. Okay. My name is Wei-chan. I go by pronounce he and his. My access needs are met, and I'm the science representative.
Thank you for attending today, Wei-chan. I'm just going to go through the list, see if anyone else is present. I think Flum is present. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Poon. My pronouns are he, him, and his, and all my access needs are met. I am an at-large representative.
Thank you.
I'm in favor with the Gabe, what Gabe is trying to say here. Like, we need to move forward. And I agree with you.
Should I go?
Back and forth
No?
will cause
Or
problems.
what is that? Is that coming from you, Jennifer?
Yeah.
I would like to go with like what Matt is saying.
Okay, I'll just go. I'm Jennifer, VP Student Life. She, her pronouns. My access needs are somewhat met.
Thank you, Jennifer. I understand that the board meeting is going overtime right now, so we may have some more directors join us later. Now moving on to society staff. Is the executive assistant present? I don't think the executive assistant is present. Do we have an admin assistant present? No, we do not. I believe the admin assistant position is currently going through turnover, so I believe that's why there's an admin assistant not present. She actually might be present at the board meeting right now, so she'll join later. And we currently have regrets from linguistics from Ali Vickers. All right. We're now going to move on to ratification of regrets. Be it resolved to ratify regrets from Ali Vickers. Does anyone move?
Software Systems moves.
Thank you, Software Systems. Does anyone second?
I will second. PSSU.
PSSU seconds. Is there any discussion? Okay, I would like to move to amend this motion, adding regrets from Simranjir and Saldog Henry. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce her name correctly. Does anyone second this amendment?
Software Systems seconds.
All right, Software Systems seconds. Is there any discussion? I'm seeing none. We'll now move to a vote on this amendment. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone. Seeing no objection, this amendment passes. Back to the main motion, which now reads, be it resolved to ratify regrets from Ali Vickers, Simranjir, and Saldog Henry. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll now move to vote on this motion. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone. Seeing no objections, this motion passes as amended. We're now going to move on to adoption of the agenda. Be it resolved to adopt the agenda as presented. Does anyone move?
Software Systems moves.
Software Systems, does anyone second?
Interactive Arts seconds.
IAT seconds. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll now move on this motion. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone. Seeing no objections, this motion passes. We're now on to matters arising from the minutes. Be it resolved to receive and file the following minutes. Council, June 24th, 2020. Does anyone move?
Software Systems moves.
Software Systems moves. Does anyone second?
Humanities. Oh, sorry.
I heard humanities seconds. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, we'll now move to vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone now. Seeing no objections, this motion passes. We will now receive verbal reports from the liaisons, starting with the council liaison. Ryan, you have the floor.
Not going to go too much into detail because Jennifer is just going to say everything I'm saying, but smarter. And also, I think you got her report in your emails. Council and board are on the same page with the renaming of the clan. They're basically just waiting on us to draft a letter, and then they'll probably green stamp it because we're great at everything. There was discussion about the food relief program, whose name I cannot remember. Food Hub. Discussion regarding the AGM, the UPass, which is probably still ongoing in the meeting like right now because they didn't come to a conclusion. And the rest of it was just committee assignments, which is what we're going to be doing today. So like a lot of internal board stuff that doesn't really concern us. And I've passed on our wishes for them to hurry up a little when they make their board introductions. So, you know.
All right. Thank you, Ryan. Jennifer? Are you free to speak?
Okay. Hello. So You guys got my document. Everything's pretty much on there. There's a food hub project, and then the $5,000 was allocated to this program that'll provide food for students. Well, the student union building is delayed again, so there was like a lease change thing. We also supported changing the name for the SFU athletics from clan to something that's more appropriate after student consultation. And there were a bunch of committee and working group appointments. And then we talked about Greek life organization. So me and the president Asab is going to bring this to another committee meeting this coming Monday. It's the Member Services Advisory Committee. There's some external stuff where we talked about this is like what students need, and we told the government that it's like just recovery. It's on the document. Actually, I will link it in the chat for people who did not get the email. Anyway, so one of us spoke in support of a Vancouver City Council meeting to call for race-based and social demographic data in BC. Also, student unions are now allowed to donate their core funding. The UPass survey is going to be sent out tomorrow, so be sure to let us know what you think and whether you'd be using the UPass in the fall. That's pretty much it. This is like the hardest thing I've ever done, so thanks.
Thank you, Jennifer. Sorry, I had my mic on there if I was clacking on my keys. We're now going to, so we finished the reports from the liaisons. We're now going to move straight into council committee elections. I believe Helen, our vice chair, would like to say a few words before we begin. Helen?
Okay, thank you, Zaid. Yeah, I don't have anything so large and grandiose to say to everyone today, but the main point about holding these elections is just starting a new tradition within council for us to be more involved within our student body. And this is one way, starting through our committees. Again, just as a reminder, if you're interested in governance, we'll be looking into bylaw review. If you're interested in how we can create and solidify council's existence within the SFSS on paper, that should be the way to go. And if you'd like to work more closely with Zaid and myself on council relations, please join governance and put yourself up for elections. For the oversight committee, if you are interested in getting to know more about board relations and what they're working on, their work reports, reviewing documents, and creating a new tradition of creating transparency between ourselves and the board, please do join the oversight committee if you're interested. And for public outreach, if you're really creative and want to get yourself involved in social media, creating a Facebook page, an Instagram page for us, and just keeping the whole student body up to date on what we're doing through social media platforms, please join there. We have so much room for all your talents and all your gifts to be a part of council. So please be a part of us. As well, we also are talking with the VP of Finance that we may be able to get stipends for all counselors that are willing to join committees. That is still in the workings, but that discourse has been already created between myself, Zaid, and the VP of Finance. So please know that all your hard work and effort will still be remunerated. So go, get yourself elected. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. Just one moment. I need to just find where we are in the agenda. All right, so item 8.1, be it resolved to appoint A, B, C, D as members of the governance committee. Does anyone move?
I will move. Helen, PSSU.
PSSU moves. Does anyone second?
Soci seconds.
Software Systems seconds. There we are. All right, I will now open the floor for nominations. If you'd like to nominate yourself or someone else to this committee, please say so now. This is the first call for nominations.
Computing Science nominates.
All right, computer science nominates themselves. Anyone else? This is the second call for nominations.
DNA would like to nominate myself.
DNA nominates themselves. A really important committee, guys. Basically, we're going to be working on policies within the council, how we're going to be having the council govern themselves. It's really important we have members on here. Does anyone else want to nominate themselves?
Engineering nominates.
Engineering, thank you. And this is the final call for nominations. Is there anyone else who would like to nominate themselves? Anyone else? All right, we will now move to vote in order of nomination. We'll vote on each candidate. All those in favor of, sorry, I don't know your name, so I'll go by the groups that you represent. The computer science representative being appointed to the committee, please unmute your microphones now. Please mute your microphones. Michelle, please mute your mic. All right, thank you guys. All those in favor of the DNA rep being appointed to this committee, please. All right, can you please mute the microphone? And finally, all those in favor of the engineering representative being appointed to this committee, please unmute your microphones now. All right, please mute the mic, everyone. Okay, thank you guys. Yep. Go ahead, Helen.
Yeah, thank you, Zaid. The only reason why I'm chiming in is because I believe we don't need to vote on the people who do put themselves up for nomination unless it is contested.
Right.
So we have 4 positions open for the governance committee. So if there's more than 4 people wanting to run for members as governance committee, then we have to get a vote done, but it's not contested. So okay. By virtue, it's by acclamation.
All right. Okay, so that makes things a bit easier then. We'll go a bit quicker. All right, so I'd like to move to amend this motion now, striking A, B, C, D, and replacing them with, could I get the names, please, for computer science? Could I get your name, please? All right. Brian, you're the computer science representative, correct? Ryan?
Sorry, yes, that's correct.
Okay, great. All right, so I would like to move to amend this motion, striking A, B, C, D, and replacing them with Ryan Van Sickle, Serena Baines, and Alvin David. Does anyone second this motion?
Software Systems seconds this motion.
Software system seconds. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll now move to vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone. Seeing no objections, the amendment carries. The main motion now reads, be it resolved to appoint Ryan Van Sickle, Serena Baines, and Alvin David as members of the governance committee. Is there any further discussion? All right, seeing none, we will now move to vote on the main motion. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone now. Seeing no objections, this motion carries as amended. Congratulations, Ryan, Serena, and Alvin. You guys have been elected to the governance committee for the council. All right, we are now going to move on to item 8.2 for oversight committee elections. The motion reads, be it resolved to appoint A as chair of the oversight committee. Be it further resolved to appoint B, C, D, E, F, G as members of the oversight committee. Does anyone move?
PSSU moves.
PSSU moves. Does anyone second?
Software system seconds.
Thank you, software system seconds. All right, I will now open the floor for nominations for chair of the oversight committee. All those interested, please nominate yourselves now. This is the first call for nominations.
I would like to nominate myself, Helen, PSSU.
Helen. Now, this is the second call for nominations. This is the final call for nominations. All those interested, please put your name forward now. All right, thank you. I would like to amend the motion now, striking A and replacing it with Helen O. Does anyone second this motion?
Sociology seconds.
Sociology seconds. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll now move to vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone. Seeing no objections, this amendment carries. We'll now move to nominations for members of the Oversight Committee. If you'd like to nominate yourself or someone else to the Oversight Committee, please do so now. This is the first call for nominations.
Computing science nominates.
Computer science. So it's Ryan.
Sorry, Helen.
Sorry, no, Zaid, is it okay if I quickly chime in here again? I just want to say again, and thank you. I think that was Ryan that just put himself up for nominating himself. I just want to say we have like 5-6 open spots on the Oversight Committee. Please come on in, have some fun with us, get a new experience. It's going to be great. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, thank you, Helen. All right, we are now on to the second call for nominations.
Sociology nominates.
Sociology, is that Kayla? Anyone else? We're now on to the final call for nominations. SFSS, that's statistics. Anyone else? All right. We will now move to, I would like to now move to amend the motion, striking B, C, D, E, F, G, and replacing them with Ryan Van Sickle, Kayla Chow, and Anthony Kim. Does anyone second this?
Education seconds. Oh.
Education seconds, thank you. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll now move to vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone now. Seeing no objections, this motion passes. The main motion now reads, be it resolved to appoint Helen Poe as chair of the Oversight Committee. Be it further resolved to appoint Ryan Van Sickle, Kayla Chow, and Anthony Kim as members of the Oversight Committee. Is there any further discussion on this motion? Seeing none, we'll now move to vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone now. Seeing no objections, this motion passes. Congratulations, Helen, and congratulations, Ryan, Kayla, and Anthony for being elected onto the committee. I'm looking forward to working with you guys on keeping the board in check. We're now going to move to item 8.3, the Public Outreach Committee elections. The motion reads, be it resolved to appoint A as chair of the Public Outreach Committee. Be it further resolved to appoint B, C, D, E, F, G as members of the Public Outreach Committee. Does anyone move?
Software Systems moves.
Software System moves. Does anyone second? Does anyone
Computing
second?
science seconds. Oh, sorry.
Computing science seconds. All right. I will now open the floor for nominations for chair of the Oversight Committee, or sorry, the Public Outreach Committee. All those interested, please nominate yourself now. This is the first call for nominations. This is the second call for nominations.
Okay, I was just gonna go for a regular position, but I will nominate myself for chair of that.
All right, thank you, Adrienne. All right, and this is the final call for nominations. If you'd like to put your name down, please do so now.
I just want to note that if you like clubs or hate the current state of the SFSS website, this is the committee you want to be on.
Correct. All right. I would like to move to amend the motion, striking A and replacing it with Adrienne Glass. Does anyone second this amendment?
Sociology seconds.
Sociology seconds. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll now move to vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone. Seeing no objections, this amendment carries. We'll now move to nominations for members of the Public Outreach Committee. If you'd like to nominate yourself or someone else to the committee, please do so now. This is the first call for nominations.
Environmental science.
Environmental science. The second call for nominations.
Mechatronics nominates.
Thank you. This is the final call for nominations. You can go on multiple committees.
Sociology second. No second. Nominates myself.
All right, thank you. Is there any other nominations?
Interactive Arts and Technology nominates.
All right, thank you, Brian. All right, we're now going to move to, all right, I am now going to move to amend. So I'd like to move to amend the motion, striking that B, C, D, E, F, G, and replacing them with Caitlin, is that Kimia, Kayla, and Brian. Does anyone second this motion?
Software Systems seconds.
Software System seconds. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll now move to vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone now. Seeing no objections, this motion passes. The main motion now reads, be it resolved to appoint Adrienne Blas as chair of the Public Outreach Committee. Be it further resolved to appoint Caitlin, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. I'm just going to go by first names on here. Caitlin, Kimia, Kayla, and Brian as members of the Public Outreach Committee. Is there any further discussion on this motion?
Sorry, can I withdraw?
You'd like to withdraw?
Yes, sorry about that.
All right. So Brian withdraws. Seeing if nobody objects, we will withdraw Brian's nomination. All right, seeing no objections. The main motion now reads, be it resolved to appoint Adrienne Blas as chair of the Oversight Committee. Be it further resolved to appoint Caitlin, Kimia, and Kayla as members of the Oversight Committee. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we will now move to vote on this motion. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone now. Seeing no objections, this motion passes. Congratulations, Adrienne. You are now chair of the Public Outreach Committee, and congratulations, Caitlin, Kimia, and Kayla for being elected as members of this committee. All right, we are now going to move on to board committee recommendations. So before we get into elections, I'd like to note that the board has reserved 1 seat per board committee for counselors. We will not be directly appointing people to the committees, but we're basically providing a recommendation which will be considered by the board. But basically, it's quite likely you'll be appointed. You can run for multiple committees if you'd like, and if you don't get recommended for the committee you want, I believe you can still apply as an at-large representative to the board and be appointed. Gabe, is that correct? Gabe? Oh. Okay, so only a specific number of committees are still open for general at-large applications. So for some of them, this might be your last chance to get on. So make sure you put your name down. All right, we're on to item 9.1, External and Community Affairs Committee. Be it resolved that the council recommends A to be appointed to the External and Community Affairs Committee. Does anyone move? Does anyone move this motion?
Software Systems moves this motion.
Software Systems, is anyone second?
Soka.
Soka seconds. I'll now open the floor for nominations. If you'd like to nominate yourself or someone else, please do so now. This is the first call for nominations. This is the second call for nominations. This is the final call for nominations. This is the way for you to get involved with basically working with the board as well as the university. I believe that's, or no, it's External and Community Affairs. Never mind. Anyways, this is the final call for nominations. All those interested, please nominate yourselves now. All right, seeing that no one has nominated themselves to this committee, I believe, Gabe, I'm a bit stumped here. What do we do now? Would we postpone this to another meeting, or do you think I should? This motion basically fails.
So if no one nominates themselves or nominates someone else, that's, hold on a second, sorry. My computer's a bit freaking out right now. But anyway, there's a few options, I guess. First of all, I really think that you should, someone should consider nominating themselves for this committee, just because you know, a huge part of the SFSS and being a member of council is just advocacy. And, you know, this is a big part of the SFSS's role as a whole. So, but overall, you can just table the motion or postpone the motion to another meeting if you think, if, you know, someone's still thinking about it and might want to do it at a later date. Yeah, but I suppose you can just table the motion.
All right, so basically I'd move to table this motion and then...
Or yeah, just move to strike the motion from the agenda.
All right. I'd like to move to strike this motion from the agenda. Does anyone second?
Software system seconds.
Software system seconds. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, we'll now move to vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone now. Seeing no objections, this motion carries. And the item 9.1 has been struck from the agenda. We'll now move on to item 9.2, University and Academic Affairs Committee. Be it resolved that the council recommends B be appointed to the University and Academic Affairs Committee. I will now open floor. Does anyone move this motion?
Software systems moves this motion.
Software system moves. Does anyone second?
PSSU.
PSSU seconds. I'm now going to open the floor for nominations. If you'd like to nominate yourself or someone else for this committee, please do so now. This is the first call for nominations. This is the second call for nominations. This is the third and final call for nominations.
I would like to nominate myself.
All right. Helen nominates herself. All right. I'd like to move to amend the motion, striking B and replacing it with Helen Paho. Does anyone second this motion?
Environmental science seconds.
Environmental science seconds. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll now move to vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone now. Seeing no objections, this amendment carries. The main motion now reads, be it resolved that the council recommends Helen Paho be appointed to the University and Academic Affairs Committee. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we will now move to vote on the main motion. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone now. Seeing no objections, this motion carries. Congratulations, Helen. You'll be officially recommended to the board to be our representative on the University and Academic Affairs Committee. We'll now move on to 9.3, Governance Committee. Be it resolved that the council recommends C be appointed to the Governance Committee of the board. Does anyone move this motion?
Software systems moves this motion.
Does anyone second?
Humanities will second.
Humanities seconds. Thank you. I will now open the floor for nominations for this position. If you'd like to nominate yourself for this position, please do so now. I'd like to nominate myself, Zaid Lari, for this position. This is the second call for nominations. This is the third and final call for nominations. All right, I would like to move to amend this motion, striking C and replacing it with Zaid Lari. Does anyone second this amendment?
Environmental science.
Software systems seconds.
Environmental science seconds. Is there any discussion on this motion, on this amendment? Seeing none, we'll now move to vote. Seek unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone now. Seeing no objections, this amendment carries. The main motion now reads, be it resolved that the council recommends Zaid Lari to be appointed to the governance committee of the board. Is there any discussion on this motion? Seeing none, we will now move to vote, seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone. Seeing no objections, this motion carries. Quince, do you have something to say? Okay. All right, we're now on to item 9.4, Finance and Administrative Services Committee. Motion reads, be it resolved that the council, please mute your microphone. All right. All right, this motion reads, be it resolved that the council recommends D be appointed to the Finance and Administrative Services Committee. Does anyone move?
Software Systems moves this motion.
Software Systems, anyone second?
Soka.
Soka seconds. All right, I'll now open the floor for nominations for this committee. All those that are interested, please nominate yourselves now. It's the first call for nominations.
Zaid, may I chime in?
Yep.
Okay. I'm not nominating myself or anything like that. I think I'm in enough committees already right now. But I just want to chime in to remind counselors that the reason why we have this privilege to be able to be a part of board committees is to continue a tradition of bridging transparency between the board and council. Now, the more counselors that we can have on these board committees, the better for us. So then we can also solidify our existence, our functions of council within the SFSS. So I highly encourage student leaders, us counselors, to take a step up and give it a whirl and try to commit a little bit of time just to one committee. I know all of us are very smart, competent, and talented in this group. So please do give yourself a try. I know you can do it. So please do put yourself up for election. You'd be amazing.
Thank you, Helen. This is the second call for nominations. If you'd like to nominate yourself for the Finance and Administrative Services Committee, please do so now. This is the final call. If you nominate yourself for this committee, you will be getting to work with Corbett himself. Hello, Corbett. Are there any nominations? Final call? All right. I'd like to move to strike. I would like to strike this item from the agenda. Does anyone second?
Software Systems seconds.
Software Systems seconds. Is there
I
any
also apologize that I won't be running for any of these positions because my term is about to end.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we will now move to vote. Seek unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone. Seeing no objections, this motion carries. Item 9.4, Finance and Administrative Services Committee has been struck from the agenda. We're now on to item 9.5, Accessibility Advisory Committee. Be it resolved that the council recommends E be appointed to the Accessibility Advisory Committee. Does anyone move?
Software Systems moves this motion.
Thank you, Software Systems. Is anyone second?
Cognitive Science seconds.
Cognitive Science seconds. I'll now open the floor for nominations. All those who are interested in being a part of this committee, please nominate yourselves now. This is the first call for nominations.
DNA would like to nominate herself, Serena Baines.
DNA nominates herself. The second call for nominations. If you'd like to nominate yourself for a position, please do so now. This is the final call for nominations. All right, I would like to move to amend this motion, striking E and replacing it with Serena Baines. Does anyone second this amendment?
Software Systems seconds this amendment.
Software Systems seconds. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we will now move to vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone now. Seeing no objections, this motion carries. The main motion now reads, be it resolved that the council recommends Serena Baines be appointed to the Accessibility Advisory Committee. Is there any further discussion on this motion? Seeing none, we'll now move to vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone now. Seeing no objections, this motion carries. Congratulations, Serena. You've been recommended by council to be appointed to the Accessibility Advisory Committee of the board. Thank you for putting your name down. It's great to see that you're looking to be engaged. We'll now move on to item 9.6, Surrey Campus Committee. Be it resolved that the council recommends F be appointed to the Surrey Campus Committee. Does anyone move?
Software Systems moves this motion.
Software System moves. Does anyone second?
Hyatt seconds.
Hyatt seconds. I'll now open the floor for nominations. If you're interested in being nominated if you're interested in nominating yourself to be recommended to be part of this committee, please do so now. This is the first call for nominations.
I would like to nominate Kimia from MSc to this position.
Kimia, do you accept this nomination?
Yeah, I accept.
Kimia accepts this nomination. This is the second call for nominations. If you'd like to nominate yourself for this committee, please do so now. This is the final call for nominations. All right, I would like to move to amend this motion, striking F and replacing it with Kimia. Does anyone second?
Software Systems seconds this motion.
Software Systems seconds. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll now move to vote on this amendment. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone now. Seeing no objections, this amendment carries. The main motion, 9.6, be it resolved that the council now reads, be it resolved that the council recommends Kimia Rezayan be appointed to the Surrey Campus Committee. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we will now move to vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone now. Seeing no objections, this motion carries. Congratulations, Kimia. We are now going to move on to item 9.7, Vancouver Campus Committee. The motion reads, be it resolved that the council recommends G be appointed to the Vancouver Campus Committee. Does anyone move this motion?
Software Systems moves this motion.
Software Systems moves. Does anyone second? Does anyone second this motion?
You?
Sorry, what was that?
PSSU seconds.
All right, I didn't hear you there. PSSU seconds this motion. I'm now going to open the floor for nominations. All those interested, please nominate yourselves now. This is the first call for nominations.
A quick question. Are there any DSUs situated in Vancouver campus?
I do not know the answer to that question.
Are there any DSUs here who are situated in Vancouver campus who would know the answer to that question?
I do believe there are DSUs that are situated in Vancouver, but they are quite small, so I don't believe they have a representative on the council right now, as Corbin noted, right? Yep.
There is the film and like the theater groups, but I don't think they have space in council right now. Because I go to the Vancouver campus, so just saying.
Okay, thank you. All right, back to the motion. We are now on the second call for nominations. All those interested, please nominate yourselves now. We're now on to the final call for nominations. If you'd like to be recommended to the board to be appointed to this committee, please nominate yourself now. All right, I would like to move to strike item 9.7 from the agenda. Does anyone second?
Software systems seconds.
Software systems seconds. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll now move to vote. Seek unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone. Seeing no objections, this motion carries. Item 9.7, Vancouver Campus Committee has been struck from the agenda. We're now moving on to item 9.8, Events Committee. Be it resolved that the council recommends H be appointed to the Events Committee. Does anyone move? Does anyone move?
Sociology moves.
Thank you, Sociology. Does anyone second?
History seconds.
Thank you, History. I'll now open the floor for nominations for this committee. If you'd like to nominate yourself, please say so now. This is the first call for nominations.
I would like to nominate myself, Adrian.
Thank you, Adrian. This is the second call for nominations. This is the third and final call for nominations. All right, I would like to move to amend this motion, striking H and replacing it with Adrian Blas. Does anyone second this motion, this amendment?
I second. PSSU.
PSSU seconds. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll now move to vote on this amendment. Seek unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone now. Seeing no objections, this motion carries. The main motion now reads, be it resolved that the council recommends Adrian Blas to be appointed to the Events Committee. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll now move to vote on the main motion. Seek unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone now. Seeing no objections, this motion carries. Congratulations, Adrian. All right, we are now on to item 9.9. Just a few more there to go, guys. First Year Engagement Committee. Be it resolved that the council recommends J be appointed to the First Year Engagement Committee. Does anyone move?
Software systems moves this motion.
Software systems moves. Does anyone second?
Humanities will second.
Humanities seconds. The floor is now open for nominations. If you'd like to nominate yourself to be recommended to be appointed to this committee, please do so now. Yes, Gabe?
Yeah, I just wanted to give a quick point of information, I guess. In the standing order that actually creates the First Year Engagement Committee, where it does say up to one counselor on the recommendation of council, it does kind of in brackets say preferred first year. I don't know if there are actually any first years on council or first years that would like to actually take the council seat on this committee. So I will just say we can be flexible here. But you don't need to be a first year. And if there aren't any first years on council, then absolutely just go ahead. And if you're really into first year engagement and initiatives, then by all means, just continue to do so. I just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you, Gabe. If you'd like to nominate yourself for this committee, please do so now. We're on to the second call for nominations.
Environmental Science, Caitlin Hyde.
Caitlin Hyde nominates herself for this committee. We're now on to the third and final call for nominations. If you'd like to nominate yourself for this committee, please do so now. All right, I'd like to move to amend this motion, striking J and replacing it with Caitlin Hyde. Does anyone second this motion?
Sociology seconds.
Sociology seconds. Is there any discussion on this amendment? Seeing none, we will now move to vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone. Seeing no objections, this motion carries. The main motion now reads, be it resolved that the council recommends Caitlin Hyde be appointed to the first year engagement committee. Is there any further discussion on this motion? Could everyone please mute their mics? I do hear background noise coming from someone's mic. All right, thank you. Continue. Where were we? All right, so is there any further discussion on this motion? All right, seeing none, we'll now move to vote. Seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone. Seeing no objections, this motion carries. Congratulations, Caitlin. You have been recommended to be appointed to the first year engagement committee. And now on to item 9.10. Member Services Advisory Committee. Be it resolved that the council recommends K be appointed to the Member Services Advisory Committee of the board. Yes, Boom?
I would like to add some information, as there's not a lot written about this committee yet. So the Member Services Advisory Committee is essentially a committee about changing policies surrounding clubs, DSUs. So for example, if you hate SU catering pizza, you want core funding for clubs, you hate booking the forum chambers because you never get it, you think grant funding is too small, you hate SU AV, the list goes on. You will be working with club coordinators like Melanie, Ricky, Nancy, and other coordinators, and talking with them directly to change those policies. This is for people who know a lot about the policies, like who are like, besides their role as council rep, also former or current execs of clubs or SUs. Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, so the motion reads again, be it resolved that the council recommends K be appointed to the Member Services Advisory Committee of the board. Does anyone move this motion?
Software Systems moves this motion.
Thank you, Software Systems. Does anyone second?
Geography seconds.
Thank you, Geography. I will now open, sorry, 1 second. I just closed my page here. Let me just open that again. All right, I'll now open the floor for nominations. If you'd like to nominate yourself to be recommended to be appointed to this committee, please do so now. This is the first call for nominations.
Tony Yu, Philosophy, would like to nominate themselves.
All right, thank you, Tony. This is the second call for nominations. If you'd like to be nominated to this committee, please say your name now. The second call for nominations.
Engineering nominates.
Engineering nominates. All right, this is the third and final call. All those interested in being a part of this committee, please nominate yourselves now. All right, now for the interesting part, since we have a contested position, we will need to go to elections. So in order of nomination, both candidates will be given 30 seconds to motivate for the position, and afterwards we will then move to vote. Sorry, who put their name down first?
I did, Philosophy.
Tony, yes. Tony, you have the floor for 30 seconds to motivate for the position.
Sure. Hi, my name, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Tony Yu. I am currently the Philosophy Council rep. I would like to be nominated for this position because I have lots of experience with in terms of clubs, and we're dealing with the SFSS and policies. I am currently the co-president for SFU Peak Frequency, So in terms of, like Poon mentioned, there are a lot of policies that I would like to see changed. Like, for example, having only outside food in specific areas, like the NBC conference rooms with forum chambers. I'd like to see those areas expanded so that other clubs have, greater flexibility in terms of getting for the events, not just, yeah. And yeah, I guess, but yeah, if you think I'd be a good fit, please vote for me.
Oh, thank you, Tony. Alvin?
Yeah, so my name is Alvin David. Previous experience being SFSS Council Rep. This is my second time. Last year, I was the Engineering Science Student Society President, and I managed different communications with our design teams, such as Team Rocket, Team Rocketry, SFU SAT Design, Women in Engineering, and SFU Robot Soccer. I wanted to communicate with them in terms of getting resources for them for SFSS, and I would love to be part of the Member Services Advisory Committee in order to support them, and also any clubs that would like to gain more resources for them. I've also worked with the Travel and Conference Fund, different core funding applications and grants for our yearly career op fair, which happens in January, which generates lots of co-op jobs for different students. And
all right, thank you, Alvin. All right, we'll now move to vote in the order of nomination. Basically, I'm going to just say their name, and then you all unmute your mics if you'd like to vote for them. Whoever has the most votes will then be nominated or recommended for this position. Starting with Tony. Sorry, was someone else speaking? All right. We'll now move to vote. All those in favor of Tony Yu being recommended to be appointed to the Member Services Advisory Committee of the board, please unmute your microphones now. All right, please mute your microphones, everyone. All right, thank you. All those in favor of Alvin being, all those in favor of Alvin being recommended to be appointed to the Member Services Advisory Committee of the board, please unmute your microphones now. All right, everyone please mute your microphone. All right, congratulations, Tony. You received the majority of votes. All right, I would like to move to amend this motion, striking K and replacing it with Tony Yu. Does anyone second this motion?
Humanities will second.
Humanities seconds. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll now move to vote, seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone now. Seeing no objections, this motion carries. The main motion now reads, be it resolved that the council recommends Tony Yu be appointed to the Member Services Advisory Committee of the board. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, seeing none, we'll now move to vote, seeking unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone. Seeing no objections, this motion carries. Congratulations, Tony. You are now recommended by the council to be appointed to the Member Services Advisory Committee of the board. Alvin, I do believe that this committee is still open for applications, so you can still apply as an at-large rep. We're now on to item 9.11, the Black Indigenous People of Color Committee. Be it resolved that the council recommends L be appointed to the Black Indigenous People of Color Committee of the board. Does anyone move?
Soka.
Software Systems moves.
Soka moves. Does anyone second?
Software Systems seconds.
Software Systems seconds. Is there any discussion? All right, I'm now going to open this motion I'm going to open the floor for nominations. If you'd like to be nominated for this position, please say your name now. This is the first call for nominations.
Out on campus, Victor Yin.
Victor Yin. This is the second call for nominations. This is the third and final call for nominations. If you'd like to be nominated for this position, please say your name now. All right, I would like to move to amend this motion, striking L and replacing it with Victor Yin. Does anyone second this motion?
Software Systems seconds this motion.
Software Systems seconds. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll now move to vote. Seek unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone now. Seeing no objections, this amendment carries. The main motion now reads, be it resolved that the council recommends Victor Yin be appointed to the Black Indigenous People of Color Committee of the board. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll now move to vote. Seek unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone. Seeing no objections, this motion carries. Congratulations, Victor. You've now been recommended by the council to be appointed to the BIPOC committee of the board. This is a newly created committee, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens and what kind of initiatives this committee takes on. And that's it for all of our elections today. Wow, that took quite a lot of time there. A lot of repetition. We're now going to be moving on to discussion items. So this discussion item we postponed from our last meeting because we went overtime. Basically, we wanted to talk about the UPass. Samad Raza, the VP External of the SFSS, asked me to bring this as a discussion item. The board basically wants the council's opinion on bringing back the UPass for this fall semester, as they're currently in talks with TransLink regarding their contract. Does anyone have any comments or opinions on this? Does anyone think we should bring the UPass back? Alvin?
Yeah, so a bit of context. Engineering requires co-op for a year of co-op to graduate in our program. And currently, fall semester is about the time where our students, about 1/3 of the body of 1,000 students, currently go on co-op, and then they use this UPass in order to get to and from their job. So I think, and I've been receiving a lot of emails in terms of UPass being offered in the summer, and that isn't the case. So I guess comment just from engineering itself, the student body would appreciate the UPass being brought back.
All right, thank you, Alvin. Let me just check the list here. Michelle?
Hi, I just want to point out that there are going to be some students that will need to attend labs and on campus. In addition, there are some students that are doing research on campus that would benefit from having the UPass.
Manru, please. Yeah, thank you. Anthony Kim, you have the floor.
Yeah. Just looking from the general outlook of stats and AXI courses, we're mostly remaining distance for at least the fall and likely the spring. And just putting it out there that I believe several other some of the other faculties out there as well as remain completely distance as well. Like there's none of the courses from that faculty require a lab component.
Thank you, Anthony. Let me see who's next here. We will be taking priority for council members to speak first before board. So we'll go on to Roland.
Yeah, I'd like to bring up that anybody who's living on campus is functionally isolated up here. If they don't have access to the UPass, they'd be trapped on top of the mountain. And so without the UPass, we're seriously disenfranchising those students who are having to live up here for all the international students or the people who are otherwise at risk.
Right, thank you. Okay, we'll let Foom talk first since Alvin has already spoken. Foom, you have the floor.
I would like to add that in the event that we vote for not having a UPass, the board is willing to set up a fund to reimburse students that would be used in place of the UPass. My only concern with that is it will get expensive really quickly. Like having transited without a UPass, I would like one trip to SFU and one trip back is like $20. So from like the furthest bus SkyTrain station possible, $20, which is with a lot of students that'll add up.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else who wants to speak? Samad, I remember you brought up this topic with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So can I go now?
Yeah, you can speak.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. So as everyone know that we exempted the UPass for summer semester due to all the classes being online. But going forward in fall semester, UAC, which is UPass Advisory Committee, is working towards deciding what to do for the fall UPass. Little bit of update, UBC has decided to come back on UPass, so that means all of their undergrad students will be coming back. GSS from both GSS, SFSS, or SFU and UBC, they both are in favor of coming back to UPass because a lot of their graduate students do travel a lot and they need UPass. UPass is currently $42.50 for all the students per month, and that's unlimited benefit. If you do not have UPass and you go for 3-zone pass, which will cost you around $177 per month, right? So that's why the reason why students get this amount $40-50 is because Ministry of Transportation is contributing $12 million annually to this program. That's how we are getting this. Right now, we are having conversation with both all the PSIs, which is post-secondary institutions, student unions, and Ministry and TransLink as well, to find out better ways to get what's best for our students. But we want to know a general feel of what's the deal, like what students are thinking. Do we want to be back on UPass or not? And it's not just about that. If the contract for SFU students is GSS is connected to that. So basically, if we say, oh, we are not coming back, that will affect GSS as well. And we have talked with GSS and they want to be back. A lot of these members are already using it. So if SFSS opts out of this program, that will affect GSS. They won't be able to use the program as well. So one decision, and our body, we are 25,000 students, right? So it's we are way bigger than GSS. So Now, those kind of things are affecting everybody. So now I just want to have a general feel. Survey is going out tomorrow to all the students, and that will be open till Friday, next Friday. So everyone will have a fair chance of putting their input in and letting us know what they are thinking. On 22nd of July, USC is meeting again and deciding what to do, and that's when we will be providing our final answer. Coming Friday, I'm meeting with Leah, Chief of Staff in Ministry, and Andrea, who is Director of Transit, and also Jag, who is representative of Transit. Meeting them, having a phone conversation actually to talk about the possible ways we can help everybody, and like PSIs are also having problems because they are the one who administer the whole program. They are the one who charges the students and pay on behalf of a student. Unions do not do that, so they are under a lot more pressure. They have to control all of those things, right? So if we say exempting out, then it's going to affect them as well. So
sorry to stop you there, but we need to start wrapping things up because the meeting's going to be ending soon, and I do want to hear from some other counselors. Liz, did you have something you wanted to say?
Sorry, hi. Yeah, I was just wondering, I think it's being discussed in the chat right now. But yeah, I thought it was possible to opt out of the UPass, but apparently not if you're in Metro Vancouver, which kind of sucks because there's probably a lot of students who have to return home if classes are online. I personally do agree that we should keep the UPass, but it will raise problems for a lot of students, so it'll be interesting to see what the poll turns up.
All right, thank you. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to say on this topic? Are there any other opinions out there? All right, seeing none, we're going to move on. So just an announcement, our next meeting is going to be July 22nd. I think until further notice, we'll probably be keeping the meeting schedule of every 2 weeks. So yeah, the next meeting is July 22nd. I will be sending out some emails regarding attendance because I have been noticing that there are some counselors that haven't been attending and I haven't been receiving regrets. Just to note to everyone, to reiterate the policy, that I do need to receive regrets from you in the form of an email before a meeting, and that if you do miss 2 meetings in a row, your position will be vacated, meaning that your student union will need to appoint someone else. I mean, we just started up council, so I haven't been strict with that, but I am going to be reading over the policy again, and I will be sending out an email with more information. I think that's really it. I don't think anything else would like to say, so I think we're going to move to adjournment. Be it resolved to adjourn the meeting at 5:59 p.m. Does anyone move?
Software Systems moves this motion.
Software Systems moves. Does anyone second?
3 seconds.
3 seconds. All right, we're now going to move. I don't think there's any discussion, so we're going to move to votes. Seek unanimous consent. If you dissent, please unmute your microphone now. Seeing no objections, this motion carries. All right, that's it, guys. We finished right at 5:59 today. Much better than how overtime we went last time. Thank you, everyone who put their names forward for joining the committees and for joining, especially we need people working in with the council committees and stuff. So thank you, guys. I will be contacting you, and we will probably be meeting sometime soon to kind of talk over how committees are going to work. And I'll probably be having to do a little bit of training with some of the chairs to just basically figure out how we're going to be chairing committees and things. I'm super excited to get that all started, so I will be contacting you guys soon. And that's it. Thank you, guys. And see you guys on 22nd. Helen, would you mind staying after the meeting?
You already read my mind. I was going to stay anyways. There are. All right.
So is it possible to at a later date retroactively appoint people to committees? Or are those committees just locked in for the term?
Good question.
Because Surrey committee definitely needs software systems, but since Quincy's leaving,
Can I speak to that?
yeah, go nuts. Meeting's over.
So yeah, I mean, a good thing to note. I was gonna.
Oh.
Okay, we can't hear you.
We can hear you.
LOL. When it comes to board and council committees, nothing is locked in. Like you can always, like even if someone's just like if I was on the council, I don't know, council oversight committee, and I said, look, this is too much for me, I'm done. You can just reappoint again at whatever meeting you want. If the position becomes vacant, again, you can appoint whenever you want. Like for example, Zaid, no one nominated themselves for the external and community affairs committee. If someone expresses interest to you over email, you can bring that motion back at a later meeting. It's totally up to your discretion. In fact, any councillor could bring that motion forward.
Right.
So yeah, Ryan, to answer your question, yeah, that can happen literally at any point. And in fact, I would encourage you actually to send out another email saying, hey, these positions are still vacant. I really encourage you guys to think about it because we can always just revisit this again.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to be doing that. Even with our own council committees, we still have a few spots open on each of them. I mean, I think we didn't meet the minimum actually